us, we're out of place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, it's not safe. Before you cross me, look both ways. Leaving the scene with no trace, none in my league. You out of place, I'm not at the top, I'm outer space. Can't eat with us, we're out of place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, state to state.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are you all? It is February. The snow is kind of melting. It may have fallen a little bit more. We'll get over it eventually. Spring and summer just around the corner. We're almost there. And I got a good one to kick off February. This is my returning guest, one of my personal favorites, a good friend of mine. And that's not just showbiz talk, because we do talk on the regular. Please help me welcome back to Straight Talk Wrestling, the one, the only, Krystal Moon. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me again. I'm excited.
Oh, no problem. It's always good to chop it up with somebody who, you know, you could see progress and grow. And the last time we had you on the show, it was actually an audio interview only. So now this is the first time where we actually get to see each other face to face, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Crazy the growth you've had. That's, man, like, you're killing it. It's awesome to see the growth, not only with you, but the mini hosts. So I'm happy to kind of be more at the start, and now we're at the big part of it, right? So it's cool to see the growth.
Well, I much appreciate that. The growth is because of having great talent like you on the show, being able to share your stories. And the great thing about having these second conversations is that now we've gotten through all the meat and potatoes. We've gotten the history. We know where we are. Now we got to figure out what the next steps are moving forward. And the great thing about the mini host is that she segues into a lot of great questions. So one of the first questions I want to bring up is something that she segued into is HWE. You had a couple great appearances over the last stretch of 2021 at HWE. You had the awesome fatal four-way match, which unfortunately you didn't come out on top to be the inaugural women's champion. But the fact that you were fighting for it was impressive. And then the last time we saw each other, well, that was in October. And that was a day that I myself, as the commentator for HWE, one of the commentators, I was not happy about that moment. And you know exactly what moment I'm talking about. That is a moment where a bright young lady who has an amazing smile and can kick ass in the ring came out to help. They came out to help the standard Matt Graf become the inaugural Cruiserweight champion. Now, I know there's an affiliation. I know you are part of the Empire. But I still got to say that I felt was beneath you. I feel that you don't need to stand next to anybody or help anybody win, but you did. You helped the standard win. But talk to you about that moment where you had to come out, and only a few months before that, you were a face within HWE, and now you have proverbially made that heel turn.
Well, like I said on social media, I'm a good friend. I've been even before I joined Empire, Matthew Grant has been one of my best friends from the beginning. So he asked, you know, hey, do you have my back? And I knew what that meant. So I did have his back. But no, I went into that inaugural women's match going into it like ready to fight fair. And, you know, I was fighting for that title and I wanted that title. It's a pretty good looking belt, I must say. And I go out and I wrestle Nova and she pulls my tights and it's on camera and nothing. No opportunity in October. No, I'm sorry, you'll get your chance, nothing. So nobody wants to be looked over and stepped on. So I switched up the notch a little bit.
Well, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I think you're right. You were definitely overstepped, and we called it. We saw it. We saw the tights pull. We know what happened. But you're right. The management of HWE did not really do right by you in terms of saying, hey, listen, let's correct this mistake. Let's make you the first, you know, the number one contender, which is fine. And I know AC and Dave, the head honchos over at HWE, they watch our stuff on a regular. So they're probably going to see this, and hopefully this will right some wrongs. This will right some wrongs. Well, I'm hoping too, because I feel like you are so overdue for a championship. I saw you have so many battles with Alexi Nicole and with her women's title over at Crossbody, and I felt that there were so many times where it really could have went your way that unfortunately it didn't. And I saw the frustration setting in. Now, when you face somebody of an equally epic talent as yourself, like Alexi Nicole, and she pulls all the shady shit that she pulls, and you see the success that they have when they do that kind of stuff, it's almost impossible to not think, I might as well do it too.
If you can't beat them, join them, right? There's that saying. And it's in the back of my head. It's like that duality, right? Like the angel and the devil. I feel like I'm stuck in that middle sometimes where I'm like, do I want to do the good thing and be that good person? Or do I want to, you know, go to the dark side a little bit and just get what I deserve or take what I deserve, I guess, right? So
as commentators, we have to be impartial, but I'm not going to say that I didn't admire the fact that I didn't like it, because I have to be impartial, but I did admire the fact that you came out and you helped Grant steal the win, and now we know where it stands. So now I have to ask this: seeing that Grant now has the Cruiserweight Championship, you are eyeing the Women's Championship, and I know his brother is itching to come along to HWE as well. Would it be impossible to say that 2022 could be the year of Empire in HWE, where we have 3 different straps on all 3 of you at any given time? I mean, you might as well become the belt collector of factions. If you're going to throw it down, you might as well go for everything, right?
That's the plan. That's the plan. No, not only in HWE, but wherever we can go. PWO, we're still in the hunt for those trios titles. Matt Grant is already the belt collector, so now it's like we got to spread the love throughout the entire faction. So definitely HWE better watch out for Empire, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Now, in terms of growth for you, you've talked about other promotions, you talked about HPW, you talked about other promotions that you are gunning for. Crossbody, obviously, for sure, you're a staple over there. Is there any other promotions in and around Ontario or in Canada that you would love to tap into?
I was just in Montreal for IWS. I was there and I wrestled Beta Scott. I would definitely want to go back there. Their whole production, the whole crew, the whole team there is absolutely amazing. And I got a really warm welcome. So I definitely in 2022 want to go back to IWS. That's on the top. I recently as well wrestled for C4. That hands down is the top, I think the top promotion in Ontario in Canada. I did a pre-show match for them, which I was really grateful for that opportunity. So I'm hoping to be there again. So C4 IWS is definitely on the top. But I think I said this previously in our last interview. I want to go up to BC. I'm originally from BC, so I would love to hit up some promotions out in BC as well.
I think you would do dynamite over there. I think your whole look, your attitude, everything about you, the way you carry yourself, it's hard to imagine you starting out, because the minute I met you, I admired your ability and the way you carry yourself. And like I say, you carry yourself like a true professional, but you always understand that it's business first. And at the end of the day, like you said, if you can't beat them, join them. Now you have some loyal and faithful fans. You have some fans that are Moon girls through and through. When you do those switches, do you get a little bit of backlash from the fans who don't like the more intense, darker Krystal Moon, if we could say that?
I definitely have some loyal fans that are with me regardless of my attitude or my attitude change. Definitely I've had people since I've sided with Empire saying what you said. It's beneath me. That I'm going to carry Empire, but I 100% don't agree with that. Matt and JT have been absolutely killing it for years. I just decided to join them and be with some of my best friends and take over Ontario. But no, I have some pretty loyal fans, so they are with me regardless of my mood that day at the show.
So talk about mood switches for a second. Let's touch on Crossbody. During the whole pandemic, Crossbody unfortunately had to close their doors, like a lot of other promotions did. And then unfortunately they lost their venue. And there was wonders, there was concerns on, I know they were looking diligently, and they found a new home. And I haven't been able to make it out to a show yet, but that will obviously change in 2022, fingers crossed, if shows are allowed to go. How was it like going back to that first Crossbody show, which was a charity event for the hacker, Scotty O'Shea, Curtis Surrock, real name, coming back from his brain aneurysm and raising some money for him, which was fantastic. And again, that's something that Crossbody always does. They've done it for Witch Swan. They did it for Danhausen as well. Crossbody always puts the talent first, which I admire and appreciate. Both Ben and Tid are great guys for stuff like that and organizing and raising money for the talent in and around the area, because it's all about spreading love and it's all about it's all about collaboration over competition. There can always be a little piece of the pie for every promotion, but if we all come together for a worthy cause, then that makes the world of it. So when you walk through the curtain at that new Crossbody venue for the first time in like a year plus, how did that make you feel? It had to be a little bit surreal for you.
It definitely was. Like, Crossbody, you know, is my home. It was definitely emotional to finally be back and like do the charity work for Hacker. Just being able to run that for him as well. So it was definitely a lot of emotion, and being around those people. That locker room is great. Some of my really great friends. Not only was I was excited, I was emotional, but I was also nervous because I had to do a tag match against Veda Scott and Speedball Mike Bailey. So I had to take all of that emotion and like kind of put a lid on it, I guess, and be on my A game and be ready. Like, this is your moment. This is a huge moment for you. You're back in your home crowd. You know, we're finally open. It's a great cause, and you're wrestling some of the best wrestlers in the entire world. So there was a lot of emotion. So definitely when I was done my match and I like sat down there for a second, I'm like, okay, we're good. We're back. We're open. That just happened. Okay. And then I went home and I had slept really well.
Isn't it so relaxing when you get all that emotion out and you shake it out and then you crash? It's like a sugar crash, but it's a healthy sugar crash, because your mind was turning the whole day. Your adrenaline was through the fucking roof. You go out there and you kill it, and then you go home and you look at your pillow and you're like, oh, I am gonna drool all over you like you have never seen before.
Yeah, I was like, I don't have to do anything. It's Saturday. I laid in my bed. My dog was still asleep. It was great. It was great. It was awesome.
Absolutely. And you know, you've had a lot of those big opportunities, and it's because you put the work in. It's because you took the not the slow road, but you let it build gradually. And now Krystal Moon is a fixture in Ontario, and it's a fixture that we know one day we will see on TV. But I got to ask you, knowing that you're chasing this dream, where we've seen so many releases this year. Now, mind you, it's only been from one really big promotion, and then another big promotion is kind of closing its doors on hiatus because they lost so much taking care of their roster for that year plus that they have to recuperate. And if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about ROH, and I'm talking about all the releases from WWE. But looking at the talent pool that was kind of put back out there to circle the indies, circle the globe. A lot of those have homes or homes away from home here in Ontario. There's a chance. I mean, you can tangle with some phenomenal talent like a Taya Valkyrie. You can tangle with Scarlett Bordeaux, who never got to show off her skill set in WWE, but we know she can hang. So, I mean, when you look at all the ladies that were kind of put back out there, now most recently, only a couple days ago before we do this interview, which is pre-recorded, Toni Storm. So there's a whole crop of amazing talents that you could potentially have an opportunity with if given the right promotion and the right booking and the right time. Everything has to sync up. The stars got to align, but we got to dream big here. That's what we do on Straight Talk Wrestling. We dream big. If those opportunities come to hand, I mean, out of those three names that I mentioned, I mean, who would be number one on that list? Toni Storm, Taya Valkyrie, or Scarlett Bordeaux?
Oh, Toni Storm.
Oh, really? Okay.
She's top. Like, out of those three, for sure, she's top. Just like everything. She's like a superstar. I don't understand like how she was not used more. I don't understand it. I feel like she had everything. She had the look, she had the gear, she could talk, and she obviously could go in the ring. Like, I think she's fantastic. So if I got the opportunity to wrestle her, mind blowing. She's definitely, out of the recent releases, is off the top. And I don't know if this will ever happen because she's signed with AEW, but like Ruby Soho, top. Because I've been hearing like comparisons between her and I. But I've loved her for the longest time before she was signed anywhere. So that's definitely another top dream. Like, if the stars align, I don't even know how I would feel about it, but that's definitely up there.
Well, for sure. I mean, and you know what? The comparisons are fair. When I look at her skill set in the ring and her look and her style, and I look at your skill set, look and style, it is very mirrored. And I think
Mhm.
mirroring is the sincerest form of flattery. If you
Yeah.
can mirror someone and you say that's an inspiration to me, that's what I'm chasing, then that's a great goal to chase. And for you, it's obtainable. Now, before we push record, we talked about you just before New Year's. Again, we're pre-recording this, but you were supposed to go to Rochester. Now, obviously,
Yeah.
that's not going to happen. Stuff like that. Were you actually wrestling in Rochester? Was that where you were going for? Were you going to wrestle?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you were
I
taking the States. That's what I love to hear. You're going to the States. That's amazing. So,
yeah.
I mean, obviously it didn't happen, but talk to me about that.
So yeah, I had wrestled for New York Championship Wrestling. I had wrestled for them literally just before COVID hit. Back, oh my God, like was it 2019? I can't even remember. My time, I don't even know. Anyways, I had wrestled for them before. I did their very first mixed tag tournament with Jordan Falco. So great crew. It was my first time wrestling in the States. And they tried to bring me back. Obviously, COVID wasn't a thing with crossing the border. And couldn't do that. And then we were so close to having me go back over. I was originally supposed to wrestle Riley Shepard for their women's title, but COVID issues with her, and now obviously border issues, COVID issues with me, it won't happen, but I'm hoping in the long run, like once everything kind of clears up, whenever that happens, I can get back over there. But yeah, I'm starting to hit the States, which is exciting.
Well, it's long overdue. I've been advocating this for the last little bit. Is a lot of people don't realize the challenges that all of you amazing talents have to get across the border. There's the issues with being flagged. There's the issues with, oh, you're stealing our jobs. You're taking jobs away from talent. It's no, we're trying to broaden our scope. We're trying to put more eyes on us so that we can get out there. And Canada, I mean, is great for that. There's a great talent pool here and a great set of promotions. But once you hit them all, there's nowhere else to go but to go across the border. You have to. You have to.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's where all of the quote unquote big promotions are. All the eyes are really over there. So obviously we have, like, I may be a little biased, but some of the best unseen talent in the world, like both female and male, like absolutely insane, where don't know why any of these people are not anywhere else. But you have to get over there, but it's such a pain to try to cross the border driving. It's absolutely nuts. So yeah, it's unfortunate.
Well, I know you'll get back over to Rochester. And when you do, I know there's going to be a couple great podcasters out there that'll be chomping at the bit to see your work. Most notably the Dirty Heels. They always rep New York and they always rep all those promotions. So I'm sure the Dirty Heels will be out there to check you out. And if they aren't, you let me know. I'll give them a couple smacks.
Okay.
I couldn't. I love those guys. They're like family. They're an awesome podcast.
Awesome.
And it's listening, check them out. They're fantastic. But Rochester's great. But any eyes on anywhere else? Like, I mean, what's the eventual goal for Krystal Moon? I know we talked about this 2 years ago, but goals, priorities change. Obviously, you're still chasing that big promotion signing. But where would you like to get your foot in the door for a big promotion? Now, I think we've talked a lot about, last time we talked a lot about you and Impact and how well you would fit in that knockouts division. But I feel like your skill set and what you bring to the table would be fantastic in MLW. And I only say that because, MLW has become quickly one of my favorite promotions next to Impact. Yeah. And obviously AEW, as you can clearly see behind me, I'm a little bit of a mark that way with AEW. I love the product. I'm not a big fan of the owner. I think he's an egomaniac, but I could still appreciate the product. I don't have to I don't like Vince McMahon, but I could appreciate the product. That's the difference, right?
Oh, for sure.
But I mean, MLW, they're just starting up their featherweight division and they have some phenomenal talent. I think you and Holodead could tear it down. I think you and Willow Nightingale could tear it down.
Love her. She's amazing. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, I mean, there's also the Sea Stars over there. There's so much great female talent that they are bringing in, putting eyes on. And I think Krystal Moon deserves to be Major League. That's my honest opinion. What do you think about that? Is my idea far-fetched, or do you think that's a good home for you?
I think that's a great home for me. The talent we've just described, I would love to throw down with. And yeah, we've talked about this before last time I saw you, and definitely would love to make it there. And if impact happens. I think honestly, my goal is I just want to do this full time. If I can wrestle every weekend, if I can, go over to the States, if I can eventually go to the UK, like I would love to do that as well. I just want to pretty much wrestle wherever, get my name out there, and show people what I can do. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And you will. I have no doubt about that. If there's anything I know about you, it's that there's that no quit attitude. And even though you are one of the sweetest people in the world, like I say, ladies and gentlemen, don't mistake it, because I've heard her forearm shots sitting 15 rows back from the ring. And you feel it. You absolutely feel it.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
The great thing about COVID, and it's hard to say that. I know. Oh my God, George, what do you mean great thing about COVID? The great thing about COVID is that it gave everybody a chance to heal, to rest, to get mind and body right, to be ready for the ring. Now, you've already got a dynamite skill set, but I always ask the tough questions. Is there anything that you're working on? I'm not asking you to give away trade secrets. I'm not asking you to spoil some of your skill set, but is there anything else you've been working on to prepare for when, we can get back to this full time, not just here or there, full time? Are you adding stuff to your repertoire?
Most definitely. You had mentioned I like striking. My forearms are definitely one of my big move sets. Exactly. I may be throwing in a couple new submissions as well. That's definitely something I have grown to love over the last little bit. So that's definitely up there. Just trying different things. I'm a lot more comfortable with myself. That was one of the biggest things I noticed that happened over COVID, was like I realized who I was and what I wanted to do, and I gained more confidence in myself, even though I wasn't training or really wrestling, which is really odd. But like I figured myself out more during the lockdowns and everything. So I'm definitely a lot more open to try different things and to really like trust myself on doing moves. So I have a couple of tricks up my sleeve. So I'm not going to quite say what they are, but definitely a few more submissions are definitely in there for sure.
I love that. And let's expand on that for a little bit more, because that's interesting. You said you found yourself. For a lot of people who might not understand that is I myself went through growing pains. I talk about this openly, honestly now, but over COVID, I realized I wasn't okay. I was really angry a lot of the time. And I was frustrated, and it weighed on myself. It weighed on my family, till one day, my wife said to me, we got to stop this. It's going to get progressively worse if you don't seek out some help. So I did. And therapy has been great. It's been life-changing in a lot of positive ways. And, I also had a little bit of a relapse only a few weeks ago in December. Job situation, stress got the best of me. I got a panic attack. And again, with the support system of my wife and my great daughters, I was able to battle through that. Went to the doctor, got some things in line. And I got to say, for the first time in a while, I feel like myself again. And it's so strange how COVID did that, because when we all separated from each other, we all realized exactly what we needed. And you're able to look inside, and you're able to find things about yourself that you might have not seen if you didn't have a lot of that reflective time. Because a lot of what we were doing, we were zombies for the longest time. We were waking up, we were going to work, we were coming home, we were watching TV, we were losing our hair. Well, I was losing my hair because my kids were stressing me out. Like, I don't know if you remember, Krystal, like 2 years ago, I think it was down here, eh? Look at it. It's just
maybe so, yeah.
It's fitting. I know. I'm as 40 creeps around the corner, and I know 40 is a long ways away from you, but as 40 creeps around the corner for me, I start to think hair transplants may be in my future. I don't know. Maybe I just let it go. Who knows? Who knows what happens? But when you have a lot of that reflective time to look inside yourself, it's a hard journey, but the rewards are boundless. And so talk to us about you finding yourself and becoming more comfortable with you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very open and honest with I suffer from anxiety. Like I have since I could remember. Like sorry, that I have definitely.
No problem. We'll take it from the top again there. It cut out a little bit. So talk to us about your journey and finding yourself.
Yeah, so I'm very open and honest with everybody. I've suffered from anxiety for years, since I could remember, more or less social anxiety, and there's a lot of other things that make me anxious. But I have learned to definitely have my own coping mechanisms with my anxiety. But I think COVID, yeah, definitely gave me that alone time and made me realize like who I really was. I had a lot of self conversations, like internally of like, what do you really want? What do you want to do with your life? Is this what you want to do? And I think the idea of having something that I loved so much be taken away from me made me realize how much I really loved it. So when we started hearing that like things could slowly start coming back, I was like, okay, I need to go balls to the wall. Like, this is what I want. This is what I need. Wrestling is a big part of me. I miss my friends, and I've gained so much through wrestling, and through starting my journey that I definitely didn't want to lose it again. And I wanted to keep going. So I think that's when I realized I wanted to kind of step up my game a little bit. But also COVID definitely made me very thankful for the people in my life. Definitely, I have a lot of great people in my circle as well. So I was very fortunate for that. And yeah, I just had a lot of self-talks. I still do that. Like, I'll sit when I need like a moment to myself. I will sit in my bathroom and just like talk to myself and just like, okay, this is what, like, you're okay. This is what needs to happen. You're good. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely do that self-talk. I do it on a daily basis. It's definitely really helped me realize things. And through COVID, I got a new place. I got a new dog. So definitely COVID was a blessing in disguise. So.
Absolutely. And how is your counterpart? Because you mentioned Kyle Brooks. He is the creator behind how awesome you look in the ring. I'm not talking about your skill set. I'm talking about your outfits. He's also a great up and coming talent in Ontario Indies. We know him as Brother Earth. Now, when I did the Cruiserweight Championship, I did mention the joke that he used to be just happy to be there. Now he's more conscientious about the environment, walks out with a recycling bin. He does the whole bit. He really does a great job of getting under your skin. But how has it been with both of you guys and your growth? Because both of your growths have been phenomenal, but to see where he was to where he is now, but also your growth, it's got to be that chemistry right there of is there a little bit of one-upsmanship? Like, oh, I had a great match, I had a better match.
Honestly, no. He's fantastic. Like, there's things that he can do that I will never be able to do, like, hands down. And that's not like, he is so naturally gifted. And honestly, when he first started training at Crossbody, I did not like him, like, whatsoever, because he literally could do everything. Like, I would struggle with something for so long and he would come in like a week later and he had it. And I'm like, that's not fair. Why are you so good at this already? But then, that changed or whatever. But no, during COVID is when he realized himself as well and turned into Brother Earth. And the ideas that he is so creative, not only with like being able to make my gear, and he's made some other people's gear, logos, but just like his promos that he wants to do with Brother Earth and his gear for himself and everything. He just has such a creative mind that it's great to have somebody to like bounce these ideas off of, because sometimes I'm like, I don't think this is creative enough. I don't know. Is it different? And I just talk to him and he'll like give me ideas as well. So it's definitely nice to have somebody you see every day to just bounce these ideas off of, and being able to have those conversations. And we definitely don't do, hey, I had a better match. We like, oh, did you watch my match? Yeah. What did you think of it? I'm like, well, I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have done that, but this looked good. Like, we definitely are very critical of each other, but we would never oh, mine was better. This was better. You know what I mean? So, but we definitely nitpick each other. That's for sure.
Definitely nitpick each other. Well, I hope when he watches this, he doesn't see the fact that you said you didn't like him in the beginning.
He knows.
Oh, you
He
know.
knows. I told him, like, when we first started seeing each other, I was like, I did not like you. You know that. Like, you were a cocky little shit. I'm sorry. And you just came in here and just thought you run the show. And he's like, yeah, I know I did. He fully admits it. He'll fully admit it. So that like went away quickly.
Oh, that is amazing. That right there is that is the greatest thing that you can have in terms of an open and honest relationship. In the beginning, I thought you were just an obnoxious ass, but now I appreciate you for who you are.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. But like, yeah, we definitely balance each other out. I am more of like quiet, kind of like conservative, not conservative, but like I'm a little bit more on the shy, introverted. Him, no, he's loud. You know when he's there. He's gonna tell you like it is. He's very open, very opinionated. I'm like, maybe that's me. Him, no, he's gonna tell you right away.
Yeah, you guys sound very mirrored image of me and my wife. She's very quiet, she's very reserved, she's very, whereas me, you know where I am in the building, and if you want an honest, straight up opinion, I'm gonna give it to you whether you love me or hate me, but I'm gonna give it to you.
Yep, that's us for sure too.
So how was Christmas? Because I mean, social anxiety and stuff like that could be a trying time in those years or in those days. But I know that I saw a Facebook post which I thought was really great. It was said that you missed your family and you needed that and you needed the recharge. So the recharges like that, does that turn the flame up a little bit on everything else in your life when you have those recharge moments? You're like, yes, okay, now I'm ready to kick the door down in 2022.
Oh, for sure. Like the last couple months of 2021 were like absolutely crazy. Like was training and like wrestling almost every weekend and trying to balance my home life. And there was like a few unfortunate like issues in my life. Like my dog that I had for almost 16 years passed away, which was absolutely devastating. And I don't feel like I fully grieved that. And I'm still grieving it. Like that dog was my life, right? So that and a few family members had passed away and some of my other friends had been struggling. So I never got that. And I'm always the person that they come to. I realized that I needed time for myself and I needed to like unload and get back to myself in a selfish way. So I took the last, week, 2 weeks of December, just, you know what, I'm going to sit at home. I'm not working. I'm going to relax, do my own workouts. I'm going to watch wrestling, but I'm not going to stress myself out. I need to take time for me. So yeah, it was definitely really, really healthy for me to do that and to kind of separate myself for some people and just like, hey, I'll get back to you when I get back to you. I'm okay. I'm good. I just need this quiet time. But now like 2022, I have goals. I have ideas. I'm ready to go. Let's kick down the door for 2022.
I love that though. Just taking that time for yourself and focusing on you and focusing on your family and reconnecting. Connections are huge. I've realized I used to be the type of person to be like, nah, fuck it. When COVID started, people were like, oh, George is trained for this. He's built for this. Cause I don't like a lot of people. I keep my circle very small. But I realized very quickly over COVID that I needed to outsource my circle. And I, again, much like yourself, miss my friends, miss people that I connected with, miss hanging out with you guys, like miss seeing all you guys at shows like every weekend. Because I was a regular fixture at a lot of shows for a long time. And it's just like, fuck, I hope this person's okay. I hope that person's okay. And then, like you said, a lot of people would lean on me, but then I realized I needed to lean on people too. And that's okay. When you lean on one another, we build each other up. It's not leaning. It's just bracing. I could take some weight on my shoulders. So you could take some weight on yours. We could do it all together. Everyone in your circle can do a little bit of heavy lifting, and that gets things done super quick. And it also helps for moving. It helps for moving from house to house when you need to be able to lift stuff up.
That's definitely true.
So a couple more questions, and I'm going to go let you enjoy your rest of your day. But then we're also going to play a game at the end, and it's a game I think you'll like because I'm going to give you some hard choices, and you're going to have to answer off the top of your head. And you know what they say when they answer off the top of the head, that means that's the honest answer. And
Yes.
it's not, if you think about it too long, then you're thinking about what is the best answer for you. But I just want the honest answer.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
one of my favorite promotions you debuted for right before COVID struck, which was Revolution Women's Wrestling. I've got the poster back there. I've got your John hat. I've got your John Hancock on it right back there, as you can see. So it's a great memory for sure to have all those fantastic women. Now Revolution, I'm very good friends with the head honcho there, Chris, and I know that he was eyeing March. Hopefully we could still get to that day. But out of everyone on that roster, all those amazing talents that are in that photo behind me, there's a couple ladies that you have not been able to tangle with yet. I have a few suggestions of who I'd love to see you tangle with.
Okay.
But out of everyone on that roster, everyone from that show, I know I'm asking you to go back a few years, but is there anyone on that roster that you would love to tangle with that you have not yet or haven't in a while?
Back then, ooh, I'm trying to think. He had Allison Kay, which would be absolutely amazing. She's a killer. Would love to tangle with her, and I think our styles, in-ring styles, would work really well together. And I think it would be a banger of a match, if I don't say so myself. So definitely her. I always love being able to wrestle Spinelli. She's legend, amazing. I don't think she gets the credit that she deserves. I feel like I say that every time I talk about her, and it's still to this day. I'm trying to think who else. And it's also been a minute since I've wrestled Jody, so definitely would love to be able to tangle it up with Jody again soon too.
I think those are three great choices, but for me personally, and I'm not sure if you two have tangled before, but I got to say, you and Masha Slamovich would tear it up. She's also a killer. But you know what though? Like I said, I've seen. You know what they say? Iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah.
So if you're in the ring with a Masha Slamovich, I know that Krystal Moon can turn it up. I know that Krystal Moon can go to those places that are needed to achieve that victory. And I don't mean to go dirty or anything like that. I know that the intensity level can raise. And I've seen you at your most intense, and I've seen you at your happy to be there stages, but I've seen you at your most intense, and your most intense is fucking dangerous in a good way, not a bad way, in a very, very good way. So I think you and Masha Slamovich could build it up and then tear it right the fuck down. For sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. That would be amazing. And like you said, I had my stages of I'm just happy to be here. I'm always happy to be here, but I'm definitely like, I know I belong here. That's my stage now. So I gotta turn up that notch, right? I've turned up that notch since coming back. So
and you do deserve to be here. And anybody that thinks otherwise, send me a DM, because then I'll send it to her. And her and I will Jay and Silent Bob all over your ass. We'll fucking go to your front door. We'll start kicking teeth in. Okay.
Yes.
We'll spend absurd amount of money, and we'll be like, "Are you Rose Gold 5420?" Boom! Right in the face.
Love it. Amazing.
So, everyone has a go-to Christmas movie now. Since you had a lot of time off, what is Krystal Moon's go-to like Christmas movie or Christmas side dish, Christmas treat? What does Krystal Moon like to get down and dirty with during Christmas?
Okay, so Christmas movie is, I'm not like a huge Christmas person. Like I'm definitely Halloween for sure. But my boyfriend's family is very into Christmas. So the last one was three years. Been getting into more Christmas stuff, but it's still got to be the Jim Carrey Grinch. Definitely like go to. I have to watch it every year. During Christmas I watched the new animated Grinch movie from like 2018, 2019. I didn't really like it. I don't know. It wasn't my like. There's a few sayings in the Jim Carrey Grinch that are very much like me, that hit a special place, like the part where he's going through his day book and he's like 5 o'clock dinner with myself, I can't miss that, or 6 o'clock and self-pity. Like that's me. Like I love that moment. Every time I see it, I have to like I quote it. So it's definitely big Christmas movie for me. And Christmas dish. So I'm vegan. And my mother-in-law is an angel, and she makes me specific dishes. So this year, we went over to one of their family members' house that like don't know anything about like veganism, nothing like that. So my mother-in-law made pretty much my own thing or Christmas dinner for me. And she brought it in little containers, which is great. So I don't know how she does it, but she makes this like sweet potato casserole thing. Oh my God. It's to die for, like amazing. So that's like my every time, like the last 3 years, that's like my go-to is that give me that sweet potato casserole. I'm good. So
I like that. I love sweet potatoes. My wife makes a sweet potato shepherd's pie that is to die for. I mean, again, I know you're vegan, so we would substitute the ground beef for tofu, but you have an open invitation anytime you want to come for dinner at the Straight Talk Family House, you can, for sure.
So down for that.
All right. And my final question. Looking at women's wrestling as a whole, from where we were only a few short years ago to where we are now. Do you think in the future any of these indie organizations might follow the suit of, say, Impact Wrestling from only a few years ago, where they put that heavyweight championship belt on a female talent? Or do you feel like, again, even though wrestling is scripted and the results are predetermined and all this stuff, do you feel like that is unobtainable for a simple fact that just based on some size difference in certain body types, that a woman heavyweight champion couldn't hold down the fort for a long period of time? Just curiosity.
Honestly, I don't think it's I think it's within reach, honestly. Like there's some girls out there, specifically in Ontario, that I think like could absolutely be the face of somebody's company, be a heavyweight champion. Jody Thread is an absolute like monster. She's definitely somebody that I could see doing it. Alexia Nicole, I know her and I have literally battled for years, but hands down one of the best. Like now that she has her shoulder, she fixed her shoulder and everything's, she's 100%. She could definitely do it. She could take on anybody. She's a beast in the gym. She's a beast in the ring. Like I could definitely see her being able to do that for sure. So no, I don't think, I think it's definitely within grasps for sure.
I like that. It is an obtainable goal. We just have to find a promotion that's brave enough to do it. I mean, Impact was the first one. We just got to find a promoter out there who's brave enough to say, all right, kid, here you go, run with it.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. That's really all it is, because we have the talent. We have more talent than I had mentioned in Ontario that I could definitely see doing it. So we just need somebody that's brave enough to do it in their promotion. So hopefully in 2022 we have that.
Absolutely. And hopefully a certain young emo wrestler is given the opportunity to run wild with the heavyweight championship. I wonder who that might be. I'm not sure. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. Can you think of anyone? I don't know.
I can't. I don't know.
Oh, there she is. She's right there on the screen. Oh, right there. Oh. All right. And now it's time for the game. So the game is very simple, Krystal. Okay. I'm going to give you two choices. So, for example, a vegan pizza or that awesome sweet potato casserole that you mentioned.
Okay.
So something like that, and you just pick one or the other. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll start off real easy and simple. Okay. Apples or oranges?
Apples.
Okay. Fair enough. Jim Carrey's The Grinch versus your entire emo CD collection.
Emo CD collection. Don't even mess with it.
Death Note or Sailor Moon?
Sailor Moon. Sorry.
Wow. I thought that one was going to be tricky. Okay. Nintendo Switch or PS5?
Switch.
Okay. Answer.
I got one. I got my Pokemon, so I'm good.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I do love Pokemon games as well. They are fun. They're a lot of fun. And the final question, super easy. Well, maybe it's not. But Dance Gavin Dance or My Chemical Romance?
My Chemical Romance.
She answered all these questions super. There was not even a second thought. She just answered them all super easy. I thought I really had some curveballs in there for you. I really did. I thought I did. I thought for sure Dance Gavin, because I know I actually don't mind them either. I think they are a little bit heavy, but they're fun to listen to. I don't listen to much. I'm more of a hip hop head. I do love my hip hop, but I appreciate a good, belted out cry kind of song that brings out stirs up all the emotions in the belly.
Yeah.
I was big into.
My Chemical Romance is like a nostalgic thing, and I have to go with that. And also Gerard Way, and I'm a big fan of the Umbrella Academy, so I'm like, we gotta go with that one.
Absolutely. Like, see, for me, like, I mean, if you were to ask me, Eminem or Tupac, it would be very hard for me to decide.
Oh, really?
Oh, it would be, because they're my top 5. Like my top 5, and it changes all the time. And my solid top 5 for me would be Eminem, no particular order, but Eminem, Tupac, Biggie, Nas, and rounding out number 5. Believe it or not, some people would be like, really, why is he in your top 5? But I appreciate his lyrical ability. 50 Cent.
You know what? I find people like, definitely he has a bad rep, I think. Like, he's definitely not as appreciated as he probably should be. So
yeah, see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Krystal Moon gets me. That's why we're
I get you. That's why we're friends.
That's why we're tight. That's why we homies. All right. And Krystal,
exactly.
For anyone who's not following your journey, and they should be, but for anyone who's not, please let the masses know where they can follow the world that is Krystal Moon.
Okay. So on Instagram, it is, I always get this wrong, I feel, but it's at Krystal Moon _PW. And it's the same on Twitter. Follow me up. I'm not super like big on Twitter. You'll see a lot about my dog and other dogs. That's pretty much what my life is besides wrestling. I feel like more people like the content of Timber than me sometimes, but hey, that's fine. She loves the attention. So yeah.
I appreciate both Krystal Moon and Timber. I enjoyed the content of Timber as well. I do. I will say this, Timber is incredibly adorable. There's nothing bad I could say about Timber. And you yourself are a phenomenal talent. But like I said, I've seen intense Krystal Moon, and she scares me a little bit. So sometimes I back away because intense Krystal Moon scares me a little bit. She scares me.
Like I said, it's that duality, right? Like angel, devil kind of thing. So
yeah, see, for me, it's weird. I have 2 devils. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's like Perfect. Devil or worse or devil. I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm the guy that I'm not gonna lie. I'm the guy that when I see like a couple days ago, Boxing Day shopping, actually, we were in the mall and there was this old lady trying to get on the escalator with the walker, and she kind of stumbled a little bit. And I went. I am that guy, and I know that makes it sound so bad. And for anybody out there that's insulted, I apologize. It wasn't my intention, but I'm that guy. I find that shit funny. Yeah. I do. I find that, and I'm sorry. I hope it doesn't change your opinion of me, but I find that stuff funny.
No, it's in the moment, right? Like, I'm gonna laugh. I don't know. Yeah, it's just seeing it. I feel like I've done that a couple times where like somebody is tripped or something, and I like giggle, but I'm a klutz, so I know that would happen to me and someone's gonna laugh and it's fine. So
yeah, but you know what the funny part about that is that it wasn't her stumble that made me fall. It's the fact that there's this adorable, cute little old lady, and when she stumbled, she stood up and she went, "Fuck," and I was like, wow, yo, grandma's a G, man.
Yeah, I would have chuckled at that. Like, that's so unexpected. It's like when grandmothers swear, it's like, oh my God, did that happen?
Oh yeah.
Did anybody else hear that? Or am I like delusional?
It's like when my 5-year-old, sometimes when I'm playing video games and stuff, I'll be like, oh, for fuck's sakes. Like, I'll just say something stupid like that. She'll walk around, she'll stick her head around the corner. She'll be like, Dad, you said a bad word. And then she'll just disappear. And I'll be like, okay, I said a bad word. She goes, yeah. But how much are you going to give me not to tell Mom that you said a bad word? So then I have to go in the wallet there and I got to pull out. Yeah. But she's pretty affordable right now. A quarter to her is like $1 million.
Yeah.
So I just drop a 25 cents on her, and she's quiet as a church. She's quiet.
Perfect.
And if
you got a couple more years, you have a couple more years of that, and you're good.
Oh yeah, like Cassie, who takes my debit card. Yeah. Oh yeah, that happened. Yeah. One time I literally went to the gas station. Thank God I had my credit card on me, but I went to the gas station. I'm like, what the fuck's my debit card? And then I call, Cass, where's my debit card? Oh, I took it to take for lunch today. That. I'm sorry. You went into my wallet and you took my. Well, yeah, because I didn't know the pin for your Visa. How do you know the pin for my debit? Well, I've heard you say it so many times. Oh, what are you talking about? And then I'm like, shit, man, if she's heard that, fuck, I better fucking change my pin. So I did. I went into the app and I changed my pin, and then she tried to use it like an hour later and it declined. And I was like, yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get. Dad, your pin's not working. Yeah, I changed it. Ha ha, sucker.
Got it. I feel like every time I go home to visit my family, I always visit my two nieces. They're 13 and 16. And I feel like especially the 16-year-old, because like I'm a big softie, especially when it comes to them. But she's working, like she works at Tim Hortons or Winners or whatever. I can't remember which one she works at, but she like has decent hours balancing between that and school. So we'll go out and we're just like looking around either for like we're getting food or like at the mall, and I'll buy her something, or she'll ask me to buy her something. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And I do it. I'm like, wait, you have a damn job. Why am I spending my money on you? Like, and she'll get it. I'm like, again, I get swooped by you guys. Like, you have a job. Well, you make more money than me. I was like, so spend your own money. That's why you have a job.
I love it. And I think that's the perfect way to end this conversation, with us getting schooled by the younger generation because we're softies. Listen, I'll admit it. My girls are daddy's girls. They've had me from the moment they were born. So no matter what I say, I'll try to be the big tough guy. No, you got to earn the money. I'll say that in front of her mom. And then when her mom's back is turned, I'll slip a $5 bill. I'm that guy. My girls are my everything. But Krystal Moon, as always, this one was fantastic, and you know there's going to be another one down the line. We got to keep this going. We got to do it a little bit more on the regular than a year apart, or a couple years apart for sure. Yeah, absolutely. But the next one we know is going to be dynamite, and I can't wait to watch your 2022. I can't wait to call many more of your matches. I can't wait to give you my disappointed face when you walk out there with Matt Grant. I can't wait to
see it.
All right. You take care. And that's it for this one, guys. Peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you next time. Peace. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to tune in next week for another great episode on all available podcast platforms and hosted on Podbean. Also, check us out on YouTube at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Instagram at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Facebook at Straight Talk Wrestling, and on Twitter at _Straight Talk. And if you feel the need to buy some sweet merch, check us out on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Leaving the scene with no trace, not in my league. You out of place. I'm not at the top. I'm outer space. Can't eat with us. We're out of place. I'm doing fine. I'm feeling great. You're not my fan. You can't relate. Straight talk going state to state.